I hope you all can see this. We got chapter 9 on page 99 of my new book, Beyond the Purple Zenith. And I'm going to read some of this to you. We'll see how far. And excuse all the red. I'm feeling really red today. I don't know why. Not in anger. Just red. No other reason. Alright, so we got 999. Chapter 9. Page 99. Here we go. The book is called Beyond the Purple Zenith. Let me get my breath. Let's get ready. Let's take in a breath. Hold it. Let it out. Okay. Here we go. It was during one of Robert's therapeutic afternoon sessions with Jack's beanstalk that a crazy idea crossed his mind. What if he were able to take pieces off of the plant, carry it around with him, and get the same effects? It was worth a try. After all, the physical makeup of the stalk was surely big enough to withstand the worst of natural disaster taken off it for Robert's personal use. So with an axe, he attempted to cut out a piece of the stem. However, as he hacked away at the plant, its outer surface refused to budge, motivated and driven to carve a slice out of it. He chopped harder and harder until almost all his strength was depleted. With all the willpower and might he had left, he took one final swing at the shoot. Immediately, the blade of the axe broke in two, the metal walls and causing a great crashing sound. There was no penetrating this thing. Frustrated and unsatisfied, he scanned the plant for any weak spots it might have. It was then that he observed the giant leaves growing out of the stalk in all directions. Using a ladder, Robert reached for a leaf and attempted to pull it off the stem. However, it was too strong and would not give. So he proceeded to retrieve a saw and began. To his surprise, his labors paid off. Using the saw, Robert was able to puncture the area and cut right through it with more ease than he presumed. The leaf, being about the size of his entire body, was fairly heavy. However, he was able to tear off pieces of it when it hit the ground by using his hands and arm muscles. Holding the fragment of leaf he had wrenched off, which was for any nice sensations developing from touching the greenery. Regrettably, he felt nothing. In an instance of stupidity and desperation, Robert used his mouth to bite off a scrap. The leaf was very stretchy and durable, so to do this, he had to use all his mouth and neck muscles. He began chewing it and recognized the taste from somewhere he couldn't remember. But as his brain cells went through the memory files of his noggin, the familiar taste came to him. Earl Grey tea. That was it. When he was much younger, on his honeymoon with his wife actually, he had visited England and sipped on cup after cup of this stuff. He loved the flavor. So though he had no idea of the effects that would occur from eating the leaves off Jack's beanstalk, he thoroughly enjoyed its zest. True statement. People in London drink tea all the freaking time. Just the truth. Disagree with me. If you disagree. Which you won't. Feeling brave, probably due to his urge to figure out a way to travel with the amazing sensations he could feel when touching the stem, he swallowed the tea-flavored herb. He almost choked on it, due to its flexible and durable makeup. But to his luck, he had a bottle of water near him that helped him to get it down his esophagus. He waited a few minutes to feel any effects from eating the appetizing leaf, but again, he felt nothing. Damn it all, he thought. Having given up, he left the heavily secure area, bolted the door shut, double-checked to make sure the door was locked, and went inside. It was family movie night. He sat in his recliner as his kids searched through the various options of films to watch. His wife sat on the couch next to him texting. He didn't know who she was talking to, probably just a girlfriend, if she had any left, which he did truthfully feel bad about. But if it wasn't a girlfriend she was chatting with, Robert didn't really care much about who it was. As long as she was occupied and not giving him shit. Sorry. She could be talking to Casanova or Fabio. Patiently, he waited in his comfortable seat for a movie to be decided on. To his relief, his kids agreed on watching the live-action version of Beauty and the Beast starring Emma Watson. This wasn't something Robert was interested in viewing, but he was just happy that something was being turned on instead of enduring another night of indecision and argument. As the opening credits began to play, Robert got up from his seat and turned off the lights. Suddenly, he felt a warmth in his stomach. He ignored it and only hoped that he was not about to vomit up the outlandish contents he had consumed about 20 minutes prior. Feeling optimistic, instead of heading to the bathroom in a panic, he got back in his recliner, put the footrest up, and started watching the movie. At least Emma Watson was in it. She was pretty sexy. The film couldn't be too dull considering. About 10 minutes into the movie, Robert realized that the warmth in his stomach was spreading throughout his entire body. Feeling a little nervous about his decision to eat something so unknown, something that had the potential of killing him, he contemplated making himself vomit. He was pretty sure he had some ipecac somewhere in the medicine cabinet. But he quickly forgot all about that idea when his mind suddenly jumped into a state of total contentment. His entire body became relaxed, and his mental state turned into one of ease and pleasure. If you know that feeling, you probably never went back from it, did you? Yeah. As the movie played on, which he was quite enjoying in his current physical and psychological conditions, the wonderful sensations that were occurring from his head to his toes grew stronger and stronger, until he came to the realization that the same orgasmic vibes he felt each time he touched the stem of Jack's beanstalk were stirring within him as he lounged in his chair. Dangerous, dangerous. Let me tell you guys, if something is too good to be true, it's too good to be true. You're not supposed to feel good all the time. You're not supposed to feel that good anytime. Except for, you know. His mission was complete. He had successfully figured out a way to carry with him the feelings of perfection that physical contact with the plant gave him. It was all in the leaves. The countless leaves that would give him a lifetime of bliss. 999, fellas, and ladies, and non-binaries, and everybody. 999. There's more truth to this than fairy tale. I will tell you this much. This is literary fiction, and it is based on true events. But then again, there's a lot of elements in this that are fantasy, but we got some magical realism going on. That warm feeling in the pit of your stomach, and then it goes from your head to your toes. Yeah, if you felt that before, you know where it's from. Be careful out there. Get help if you need it. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, if you have any interest in, if you've had problems with certain things in your life that this chapter kind of brought up, because this is just the start, this was like the first feeling. Probably gets worse from here, wouldn't you think? Or maybe better? Does it usually end up better? Well, you know the answer to that. Does it end happy? It could, but could he keep using these leaves? I don't know. You'll just have to see. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. 999, everybody.